It is mind-blowing
And heartbreaking.
how many original scripts are written every year but are never made.
So we seek out these scripts and bring them to life with full audio production and professional actors.
Check us out at Undiscovered Scripts,
Movies made of paper.
wherever you get your podcasts.
Free.
Well, there's a party each and every year on Christmas Eve, where the fun and cocktail shrimp don't seem to end. Clark and Ralphie taking turns on the TV screen, laughing, singing, yelling with all of our friends. Well, it's Christmas, and everybody's gonna spread the holiday cheer. 'Cause it's Christmas. Oh, it's the best time of the year. Let's go fake reindeer redemption.
Hey, Dylan.
Bulbasaur! Matt, hey, what's up, man?
So it was 11 at night, and I said, oh, man, I got to watch this Pikachu's winter vacation before bed. And for 45 minutes, people complain about the first hour of the Star Wars holiday special for being just like Wookiees growling at each other with no subtitles. But there's like 8 lines of dialogue in this entire fucking 45-minute Pokemon Christmas special that isn't just the Pokemon saying their names at each other.
Dude,
I
holy
didn't-
fuck.
there was a certain point where I was like, I'm just gonna have this on while I do some other things. Like I was like, I
you
can't. Give it-
You
you
can't.
It is.
Dude. All right. So, a little bit of background. For those of you who don't know, I was born in 1992. So, I'm a little younger. I was prime age for Pokemon. I mean, fucking prime. I had everything. I collected the cards, got the little toys from Burger King. I collected everything Pokemon.
Yeah.
In 99, a VHS released called Pikachu's Winter Vacation. Now, that VHS, we watched this online. And it was a rip of a UK DVD. But the original VHS only had the first 2 mini episodes on it. So, I've only seen the first 2. I didn't see the second 2 until today, which is they're absolutely incredible. I'm back to being a Pokemon fan, and we will. I'm sure we'll talk about that after we talk about the specials, Pokemon in general.
Well, let's start there.
Let's start with that. Yeah, okay.
Let's start with our Pokemon, because my Pokemon.
Yeah, give me yours, and then I'll
mine
go
is
into
very weird. I never liked the cartoon. I never played any of the video games.
Get out of here, you little ugly rat monster.
I was obsessed with the card game, though. I would play
Really?
like the Pokemon card game at the local mall on a regular basis. Like every Saturday for like 3 months, we would show up
You
at the
were the
mall.
opposite of me and all of my friends.
Yeah,
because
and
like
then-
we indulged in everything. We collected the cards, but I didn't until like 2 years ago learn how to play the fucking game.
Yeah, no, I knew how to play the game. But see, here's the thing. I don't remember any of it now. I don't remember how to play Magic the Gathering. I played that for a little. Like, all of that is gone out of my brain. It's been too long. It's all dumped out. But that was like it. There was like this year where I played the Pokemon card game with a bunch of my friends, and then I was out. And then Pokemon Go came out, and I got really invested in Pokemon Go. Like, I had a blast playing Pokemon Go.
Jesus.
But then, so this is my controversial thing. Then that company put out the Harry Potter Wizards Unite game, and I liked that game way more than Pokemon Go. Like, I was like, when that game came out, I stopped playing Pokemon Go and became super obsessed with that. And then I was the only one because they eventually just shut that game down entirely.
Well, I mean,
so,
you want to know like what's cool of like about like the Pokemon company is I'm not sure if anyone who works for the Pokemon company has exposed themselves as an absolute turf
Well,
on
look,
Twitter.
that is. I agree with you. That is a big problem.
I'm just ripping on you. And
No,
Teddy's
but
a huge Harry Potter fan, so I always rip on her too.
no, listen,
Fuck,
you have
it
to
sucks,
look.
dude. It
It's the
sucks.
same thing with listening to like Michael Jackson Thriller. I gotta
Yep.
separate the
Yep.
goodness of the tunes from the badness of the
Yeah.
creator. But the actual phone game had like a legit story that you were following. Like it was like
Yeah.
an actual game. So it was like, oh, I've got to achieve these things to advance to the next story arc within the narrative of the game. So like that kept me on the hook a lot longer than just like I'm just going to catch a shit ton of Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so now it's been a year since they shut down the Harry Potter game, and I've never deleted Pokemon Go off my phone, but like I still go for like a walk 1 hour every day, and I don't even fucking look like I don't even open it. It's like I'm going for a walk. Like I should have it open, just like catching Pokemon, getting those steps in, whatnot. But it's just like I don't know. I've always
Like,
been.
what's the point?
I've always
like
been
the
such
Charlie
a
Brown of Pokemon.
yeah. Like I've just been a lukewarm fan of Pokemon. So
Yeah.
this was like my Clockwork Orange watching this shit. Like
So like meanwhile, like I'm again, as I just said, I was all in as a kid. I literally have a bin down the hallway right now that is just full of Pokemon shit from when I was a kid. Around the February 2021, Pokemon started getting big again. I'd kept up. I got the Switch games. I still played some of the DS games. But I wasn't all in. I started like I would play like the first couple hours of them and then kind of put them down. And it wasn't until one of my friends that I work with was like, I'm getting back into the cards. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. This was right around the same time as that like Logan Paul nonsense where he was doing the card shit. Actually, it was right
professional
before.
wrestler Logan Paul.
Professional wrestler Logan Paul. Don't get me started. He's really good.
Yeah, I know. I hate him.
it. So
it's literally that scene in High Fidelity when they're listening to the music made by like the obnoxious
asshole
skateboarder kids.
Yeah,
and he's just like, it's really fucking good.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it is. I'm like
every time I watch him, I'm like, God, he's so fucking good. Why?
Yeah. you're like, I don't want you to hurt yourself, but just fuck up. Like, just fuck up, please. God damn it, just fuck up. Like, I don't want you to like fuck up on like the top rope or something. But just,
no, I don't want you wheelchair bound or anything.
Like,
I just want you to botch.
Like,
just botch. Just like show up in Botchamania.
Please, God. So this was before like right before that whole shit started happening. So I started getting back into collecting the cards and stuff. And I fell like I mean right back in, and it is just I got a binder for every single type. Like I have a blue binder for my water type, a green binder for my grass type. I know. I've got a binder for every single type. Right now I'm up to 1,500 cards. I'll break a pack. I'll log. I've got an app on my phone. I log the card into my phone just so I know, so I don't have to go digging through the cards.
I mean, I'm shaking my head like shamefully, but it's like I also have a full Excel spreadsheet to keep track of every TV show and movie that I watch in a given year. So like,
now
who the fuck am I? Like,
the problem was I fell back in, but I fell back in too hard. And what I mean by that is I was just buying. Like, I mean, as soon as if I saw
we
something,
would go places and you'd be like, hey, do you mind stopping at a Walmart or a Target just so I can see if they have any real quick? And yeah, you had a bit of an addiction.
I did. I had hardcore addiction. So that happened. And I also got to the point where I was so meticulous with how I organized my cards that it stopped being fun. And here's how I would organize them. I would organize them in their binders, but then I would also try to organize them by Pokemon number. For those who are not familiar with Pokemon, each Pokemon has a number.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, the original group was 151. Pokemon's up to now 900 plus Pokemon.
Yeah, I can't keep up with, like, my goal at one point. My goal was literally just I want to get the 250 Pokemon that I need to have or whatever in Pokemon Go. And then it felt
Yeah.
like every year there was an update where I'm like, there's how many now? Like, this seems like an impossible task, and I'm not having
There
fun
are
anymore.
900 plus Pokemon, and there's not a good site online that breaks it down by type and by number, or there wasn't when I was organizing these. So it got to a point where I was spending hours just logging them and not getting them organized. Some not so chill shit happened, and I went through a really dark, depressive state for a minute, and I stopped buying. And I don't know if you saw my post the other day, but I had like boxes and boxes of unopened cards.
No,
Just,
I didn't know that it got to that point.
Yeah. Boxes and boxes of unopened cards in my closet. The other day, a couple weeks ago, actually, I'm sitting down and Teddy's all in. Teddy is all in on the Pokemon shit. She loves Eevee, all the evolutions and everything else. She loves the games. Her new thing is like, if we go to a con, she's looking for the Pokemon games, any games that she doesn't already own.
Yeah.
So she'll buy those. And I'm like, I really want to get back into these cards. Or I need to organize these cards. So I went and bought what they have out now is a new Pokemon Go set. Like that's their new expansion set. Is a set that they did in collaboration with the app.
Okay.
So I bought those and I organized those. And then I just cleared off the coffee table, set my binders out, and now I'm organizing them still by type. And I log on my phone to see if I already have them. But I'm not worried about the numbers. And I am all in. Like seriously, all in again. I'm not as bad as I was. I'm not like we gotta go get fucking Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if I see a box and I'm like, yeah, I'll grab it. I love it. I love it. I love those little fucking monsters.
So my memory of playing Pokemon Go when it first dropped, like the time I got most sucked in was San Diego Comic-Con that year at San Diego right after it dropped. And you know me, I can barely speak English language on words that I do know. So you throw me some of these Pokemon games and it's like real fucked up. But that was the joke that everyone had was I was walking around and we'd all have our phones out playing Pokemon Go. And I walk fast. So I would usually be a little ahead and I'd be like, oh shit, there's a snake. Like, and I would say,
I'm sorry.
And like
are you talking about Ekans?
Yes, which is snake backwards. Yes, I understand.
Or
yeah,
Arbok?
I'd just be like, it was that, or I'd be like, hey, some birds. Like, just like,
oh my god, dude! When you come down or when I come up there, we need to take a walk and play some Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm back in on that too.
It'd be fun to get, but that's the other thing. No one around here is playing it, so like. When I was really into it, beyond playing it at San Diego Comic-Con, was like I had 5 or 6 friends who loved it. So it'd be like we would wait until like 10, 11 at night. We'd hop in a car. We'd drive to like an area that had like a ton of Pokestops and Poke Gyms, and we would just like walk around for an hour or two just shooting the shit while playing Pokemon. And it was a great
dude.
outdoor activity. But anyway, so
we'll do it up. My parents never stopped. My parents, it's so funny. Like my parents, they knew Pokemon from when I was a kid. So like they were familiar with the original 151. But when this came out, I was like, yeah, download it. I think it was 2016 when it came out. They never stopped. They like to the point where I just reinstalled it on my phone. And I was like, I sent a friend request to my mom. My mom texted me and she goes, a little bit late to the party on that one, aren't you? I'm like, wow. My mom is making fun of me for being late to the Pokemon Go party. So I'm all back in. I'm really stoked later this year. Scarlet and Violet come out on the Switch. I loved Legends Arceus that came out in January. I absolutely adore, like, I love it. I love it. And I love the fact that each pack of cards now comes with a digital code to play the online game. So I'm like collecting cards on the digitally as well too. I just wish they would put the card game on a phone. I would play that shit religiously.
So what we're saying though is, so the love that you have of Pokemon runs, I would say 10 times deeper than it runs through
definitely.
me.
Now,
so
you
may be charmed by 5 minutes of characters running around screaming their names. I felt like this is torture.
I also don't want like. I know that like the Pokemon fandom can get pretty toxic at points. So if any of them stumble across this, because I know there are certain people that just Google the word Pokemon and will stumble across this, or Pikachu and stumble across this. If either one of us mispronounces any Pokemon names, just leave it alone.
Yeah,
just
let
it
it
go.
happen.
Just-
That's why I'm just going to refer to them as the animals that they are. The
Just let it
fucking
go.
dinosaur with a flower on his back. Run around.
You watch your mouth. That's the only one. Bulbasaur, I would die for that animal with the fucking leaf on its back, or bulb on its back. Or are you talking about Chikorita? The thing at
I
the
don't know.
end,
You never know.
the
You never
smooth
know what
one.
I'm talking about
Okay,
because
we'll
there's
get
so
there.
many that are fucking the exact same thing.
All right. We're getting into this. So, Pikachu's Winter Vacation, aired in Japan 1998, dropped on VHS in 99 in USA. This is the first Winter Vacation. What we viewed was a compilation mix of the first Winter Vacation and the second Winter Vacation, 4 episodes that we
And boy,
watched
did I
together.
wish when I was watching it that you had texted me and said, "Hey, you only have to watch the first 2."
So I will say I watched them this morning, and in the midst of it, I almost texted you and said, "Dude, we're just gonna do the first 2." but I figured you had already watched them, so I felt like a real asshole if I would have done that.
You'll notice that my knowledge of what happened in these progressively goes down as each news story because that was
Dude,
that was me just
same.
being like losing interest. But
Same.
first episode is a charming, simple setup.
Dude, 100%. So one of my big gripes with the Pokemon anime is it's both one of the easiest things to stream and the hardest things to stream. So Pokemon TV and the Pokemon Company, whatever they want you to be able to stream is readily available. Like the first 2 seasons and then all the latest stuff readily available. Everything in between or like specials and stuff like this, really hard to get a hold of. So what
Yeah.
we did is we watched it on Daily Motion, and it was a rip of the UK DVD. Sorry. And not apologizing for it being UK, apologizing for the fact that it wasn't the most legal means of watching this.
Hey, look, they got their ad money.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. If any of you have watched anything on Daily Motion, there is a 2-minute ad at least every like 7 minutes or so. So it turned this
It'll cut
41-minute
mid-sentence.
dude, it turned this 41-minute video into at least an hour and 10 minutes of our time. It is insane. So starting off with Pikachu's Winter Vacation, and I'm a sucker for any song that you just add random bells in. Started off with a sick intro jam. And once the episode starts, you kind of get the idea of how every single one of these is going to go.
Yep.
The human actors are going to come in. The human
Say
actors.
two
the
lines
human
of dialogue
characters are going to
to
come
set up.
in. Say 2 lines of dialogue. They're only going to show their feet.
Yeah, it's real Muppet Babies here. Like,
And then they're going to fuck off for 10 to 15 minutes. And I don't know why that is.
Pokemon hijinks will just
I'm not
ensue.
sure. I'm wondering if it was like a money thing. I don't know. What,
Yeah,
like,
they were just getting paid per the word. And they
I don't know. When I was a kid, I was like, well, I guess they just couldn't afford Ash for this episode. But dude, remember, I
Ash
was
must have had some disputes.
I was 7 when I first saw this, man. So like my idea of cartoons.
Look,
versus
I
people
still
was
want to
so
live in a
insane.
world where like Who Framed Roger Rabbit is how it works.
Like I just didn't understand. I was like, well, of course that Ash, Brock, and Misty aren't in this. This is a one-off Christmas episode. They're not gonna waste their time in a Christmas special. So they go away, and honestly, we don't have to take this episode by episode. Like we really
No.
don't, because
because it's the same
it's the
basic
same
premise.
bit every single time.
Things go well, Pikachu fixes it.
Yeah, exactly. The human characters run off. They're either helping Professor Oak or they're like going to buy things in town. I like to pretend now that they're going off to just like shoot heroin or something because
It's just
they're like we're gonna go do this shit. You
We just
guys are
gotta
in
go. We need to
charge.
go somewhere where there's not 1,000 things screaming their names over and over. It's like a person who's like, "Man, I should get a dog," and then like they go a little too far, and then they have like 5 dogs, and then every single second that anything happens outside, they have to deal with like the choir of dogs losing their shit, and they're just like looking for any excuse to leave the house. They're like, "Hey,
Wow, a
what's
close
anybody
up
is
on this house that I'm living in.
yeah, anybody want to do like literally anything, please?" like
That's exactly how it is, because they leave and then the entire time that they're gone, especially in this first episode, because the first one, like I said, is like 98.99. We're dealing with specifically like the first 151. So you've got like OGs here. You always
Yeah.
got Pikachu because it's Ash. You got Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Togepi, Psyduck, and Vulpix, and every single one of them is just constantly Squirtle,
Yeah.
Bulbasaur, Vol.
There's a point where all of them are yelling simultaneously, and I was just like, "Holy shit!" Like I've never seen the Pokemon movie, like the theatrical movie.
Like the
But I
cartoon?
remember, yeah, like
Yeah.
the one where they introduced Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, dude, I saw that in
but
theaters. It was
but I
baller.
remember my brother made my aunt take him to see it.
Hell
And
yeah.
she was like, it was the most obnoxious 90 minutes of my life. And just watching this Christmas special, if that's essentially what that movie is for a chunk of its runtime, I get it.
Well,
Like,
the difference is like, at least for that movie, there's characters speaking, and that's
Yeah.
the like
we
what's
get the humans and we get Meow. Like, that's
yeah,
it.
exactly. And what I like about the anime as a whole is that's kind of what it is. It's like it's goofy slapstick shit happening to the characters. And there's a lot of heartfelt moments. None of that happens in any of these 4 segments.
No.
I will say, did you cry? I teared up during the first clip. I did, because
I
it
didn't.
was like,
but I have like no real love for these characters.
but you would, I think you would understand. Like, you understand why I did.
Yeah.
Like, seeing these characters, they're all together. I'm like, oh my god, it's Pikachu. It's
Yeah, they're just
Togepi!
they're
Oh my
having their time together.
I know, they're hanging out.
Christmas brings families together.
Yep. And it ends with them. They basically, Pikachu uses his cheeks to the ones on his face to
Thank you for the clarification. Anybody listening? Pikachu didn't back his ass up on the Christmas tree to fix it. He didn't twerk on the branches and suddenly got decorated.
That joke's even funnier because there is like a meme of fake Pokemon cards out there that are called like thick Pikachu and thick Bulbasaur. Please Google that as I finish.
I'll do that right
explaining
now.
this.
I'm gonna see. I want to
double
see what
C's.
thick Pikachu
Thick
looks like.
Pikachu. Double C.
I live on the internet. I know how thick is. spelled.
That is not the version of Pikachu we got in this movie. They knocked the power out. I can't remember how the power gets knocked out, but the power gets knocked out.
Dylan, I'm buying you this for Christmas. It's a thick Pikachu blanket.
Yes, please do, dude. I love it. We'll hang it on the wall. So Pikachu uses his face cheeks to start the power back up, and they get the Christmas tree lit up, and everybody comes back, and it's all cute. It's they're cutting a cake. We still don't see the human characters' faces. I still don't understand why. Because that's the problem. Is I spent the entire 40 minutes of this special wondering why are we not showing their faces. I understand if we're getting like the cartoon animations over and over again. Like, I guarantee that they did not redraw any of these characters for this. Like, they definitely like splice these characters
I'm
in.
wondering if they literally just reused audio that was recorded from previous episodes just for the characters leaving. You know what I mean? Like, they're just
Maybe.
like, I don't know, just find some audio of Ash being like, we got to go visit Professor Oaks.
Yeah.
And they're just like, all right, we can just
That might
reuse
be
that
it.
real quick.
The second clip is very much it's always winter but never Christmas,
Yep.
which is one of my big gripes about like snow in general. Don't get me wrong, I love a white Christmas. I love snow. at the beginning of Christmas.
I've said
hate
that
snow, but it's never.
I'll be content if it snows basically December 23rd until like
Yeah,
January 2nd, and then I would prefer to never see it
exactly.
before or after those dates.
Exactly. And
Like,
I'm not one. Yes, I guess I can kind of associate snow with Christmas, but to me, like the majority of the Christmas season takes place in the fall. Like
yeah,
it's not
it's
even
too fucking
winter
hot.
yet.
Thanks a bunch, global warming. But
Exactly.
but yeah, no,
Um,
you're right. It's practically a fall holiday if you're,
yeah.
especially if you're like us, where you start celebrating in November 1st, like.
Exactly.
Or with
Exactly.
you, it's like at 11:30 on Halloween night when you're like, all right, let's pop on Black Christmas and get this bitch like light this bitch.
Let's get lit. Dylan's watching 30 Rock in the middle of June. He's like, "This make you feel like Christmas? Does this make anybody else think about Christmas?"
Just driving out to see Real Big Fish. You're like, oh man, feeling Christmassy.
It's April.
You're rocking your Hawaiian shirt, ready for the show. Like,
Can you play Skank for Christmas, please? So the second one is very much we get introduced to some new characters, Kangas Khan. And yeah, they're just hanging out and playing.
yeah, it's like I mean, half these are just like
that's literally the second one.
little fucking critters are doing their thing, and like, look, let me ask you the big question. Instead of us going segment by segment, there's a giant
we're already
question.
so we're halfway through it, and you're
Look.
like, instead of us doing this,
Instead of doing this, because we also have to talk about like the rap song that's in the middle of the fucking tape. But here's my question. This was my biggest takeaway.
Oh, fuck, man.
Is Santa's reindeer a Pokemon?
Yes, Stantler. Yes. Stantler is a Pokemon. I thought that was kind of cute. I thought that was kind of neat.
Wait, is it like a playable Pokemon, or is this
yes.
like? Oh
No,
my god!
Stantler's an actual Pokemon.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
I thought they just like. I thought they just like literally were like, "Hey, here's Santa's reindeer," and I mean, in the meantime, while he's here, because this was a conversation I had with Jonathan this past month at Comic-Con,
Santa's
where
reindeer's a Pokemon.
well, no, we talked about
Like,
why he doesn't. He's like, I don't like Detective Pikachu, and his reason for not liking the Detective Pikachu movie is that they go to that one alley where they're eating meat, and he's like, if every animal in this universe is basically a Pokemon, these Pokemon are eating other Pokemon, and that's really fucked up.
It happens in our animal kingdom.
It happens in our animal kingdom, but we're not like walking down an alley where there's just like a dude grilling up a human body to serve to more of us.
Okay, so
Yet. But
yeah,
inflation might get us
that.
there.
It's good. Tender is the flesh. So yeah, Stantler is an actual Pokemon.
Amazing. I was wondering why it wasn't just like Rudolph or some shit.
like I guess they couldn't get the rights.
They paid that big Coca-Cola money to get Santa Claus in there, but couldn't afford the reindeer.
Yeah. So Stantler is a Pokemon. You can catch it in the games. My favorite part.
Okay, that's cute.
All these
I accept
four
that.
fucking segments is when they like Stantler's sick. Stantler doesn't just look sick. Stantler looks like he's about to fucking die.
Yeah,
by the way,
he looks deathly.
And Santa's like, we need to fix him. And I'm like, Santa's gonna fucking shoot his reindeer. I know. But my favorite part is when they do fix him. And so what they set up in the anime is that the Pokemon can't talk, they just say their names. We've talked about that. Stantler doesn't do that. Stantler, just when he's fixed, I don't know if you remember this.
No.
The only noise Stantler makes is he's like, he feels better now. And Stantler just stands up and goes, oh!
Yes, I did remember that. Oh, I forgot to write that down. Yeah, he screams. It sounds like he's in pain.
And then everybody talks, and I think Santa's like, are you ready to go, Stantler? And he just, ah! Dude, could you imagine You're training Pokemon. You got fucking Pikachu. Pika Pika. You're like, what's that Pokemon? Ah!
I don't think I want to catch that one.
All right,
I think I'm finding my Pokédex is short by one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk away here. Jesus.
Just keep it trapped
You
in that
cruel-
Pokeball.
Back to you cruel god.
Oh shit!
You,
Yeah.
you look
This
at
was
this thing and tell me there's a god. Ah!
Look, I don't want to spoil the end of this review, but I don't think this is going to become a Matt Kelly December watching classic anytime soon.
Oh god. You know, honestly, if it was easily streamable and not just on Daily Motion, I would probably watch the first one, like the Christmas night thing. Almost as like a not like a kickoff, but something as like a background.
Yeah,
Like
it's
something's on the
wholesome
TV,
enough.
like there's
Yeah.
Christmas stuff happening on the TV. We're like playing a board game or some shit.
Wait, you wouldn't want to play a board game with like happening in the background the whole
Oh
time?
my god. Holy shit, that's so good.
But yeah, there's like this whole thing's weird. There's like these little musical bumpers.
It's so chaotic, man. There's like the fucking there's a solid 2 minutes of a silent clip of Snorlax laying down where Cherubies are just fucking jumping on his big ass body.
Yeah, it's wild. This is like ADHD in
Yeah.
45 minutes. Like,
Yeah,
there's
a
no rhyme
clip
or reason
of
to
like
anything.
the camera's like zooming in on a window, and you just hear fucking Jigglypuffs rapping like Jigglypuff.
I didn't know what the fuck was happening. I was like, what is this? Like, there was like you at least had a frame of reference.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
like,
like,
the fuck
what?
is Jigglypuff doing?
I was like, I felt like I was on drugs. Like
Yeah.
that South Park episode about Chin Pokemon. Like,
Pokemon.
like I'm like, oh my god, that's so fucking on spot. This doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It really is, and I think this is very much Pokemon of its time. Like it is a little different now. I almost think it's like, I don't want to say it's taken more seriously, but it's like, I don't know. There's quality. There's quality with what they're releasing.
Can I ask one question?
Go for
and
it.
It will probably connect to the final segment anyway.
Yes.
Why is Meowth allowed to speak, but none of the other Pokemon are?
Well, in episode 2 or season 2, episode 16, Meowth reveals that he stumbled across a female Meowth when he was young. She didn't return his affection, though, because she had a rich trainer and saw Meowth as a street Meowth. This is like a fucking fever dream, dude.
You're just making up shit. I don't even believe you're really reading something.
Meowth is a street Meowth.
You're just like bouncing shit off the top of the dome.
Who couldn't oppress her because he wasn't human? What?
So wait, was her boyfriend? She was like fucking a human.
I don't know. Don't even get me started on that, because there's a Vaporeon meme I'm gonna show you.
No, we're not. Let's not add that into my internet search history.
So Meowth decided to make himself as human as he could. He learned to walk on 2 legs by watching people practice at a local dance academy, which also just so happened to offer pronunciation lessons. Over time, and with a little help from a picture book, he learned how to sound out words. Unfortunately, that didn't impress the female Meowth, who went so far as to call him a freak.
Oh no.
A broken-hearted Meowth eventually left to join Team Rocket, because Rocket was the first word he ever understood the meaning of.
None of this makes sense. This is
Dude, that was fucking hysterical.
I've never heard someone make something less clear with an actual answer.
Yeah, I did last episode when you talked about Christmas in August.
That is true. August is not off to a good start right now for us. It's a lot of confusing
with explanations. I mean, it's confusing, but it's hysterical. Like, this is great stuff, man.
No, we're doing a good episode for sure. But yeah, I mean, do we have anything else we need to say about this Pikachu's winter vacation? You definitely took notes. I did not, but
I I don't want this to be the lasting impact that Pokemon has on you.
No, look, you and I will play Pokemon Go and I'll be like, this is fun.
Yeah. I really need to get you a Switch, man.
You'll open up your binder and be like, look at these cards. And I'll be like, I remember cards. Yeah.
I mean, like, it's also, I don't want to put like the monetary thing on, but it's really cool that I have a $200 Charizard card, like, in encasing on
Mr.
my shelf.
Money Pants.
But like, I don't like, that's cool. It's cool to be like,
No,
I pulled this card. Like, this is awesome. I did have somebody ask me when I first pulled that card, so are you going to sell it? And I'm like, no. Like, it's cool to have.
Yeah.
It's cool.
No,
to
I
have.
think that's the big thing is like, hey, what's going on over there, buddy? You got some Pokemon yelling their names by the window?
Yeah, exactly. Bear's sitting on the back of the chair like, bear,
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 bear.
bear.
All right.
Bear.
Well,
Newt's like, ah.
all right. All right, Dylan. Well,
oh my god.
Pika, Dylan.
Pika, Matt.
Oh, whoa, oh, now we won't stop till the big ball drops on New Year's. Happy holly, have a great holly, have a merry happy holiday.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.